Hey everyone, and welcome back to Gearbox. I am going to continue working on the new track car in today's video. On a side note, I'm doing a couple of the final updates for the T2. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but I'm switching over the sway bars, fixing the exhaust a bit, and just with the newest engine parts and stuff, I need to update them to keep them the best they can be. I want this truck to be as good as I can make it. Either way. More on that in the video for it. The track car, in the last episode, we started with making the rear subframe, put the 5-speed in it. It's just a basic 5-speed using the clutch gears. My performance V8, nothing special. I would like to change this, move it back more, so it's not taking up so much space, but we'll see. I would like to make sure this runs really quick. It should run, but it's better safe than sorry. I should have connected these all really quick off camera while I was eating, but whatever. I can't wait to be doing this stuff in real life. I plan pretty much everything I do in video games, especially the stuff I record, I plan on doing in real life once I, have the money to afford it again. Okay, so that's everything connected. I just need to put the seat on it. Also, really quick, off camera, I changed all the parts to aluminum. I think some were still steel. The engine is titanium. And then the subframe is aluminum. I'll probably change it at some point, but whatever. Alright, let's make sure it just runs. Doesn't sound too bad. Sounds horrible when it revs, but it's not too bad. Make sure everything turns. It looks like everything's turning in the right direction. It's hard to tell, but whatever. I wanted to make sure while I'm still at this stage, because once there's a bunch of stuff around it, it'll be a bit harder to change things so the differential spins in a different direction. I'm going to do the rear suspension next. Oops, that locked. Hopefully my microphone doesn't pick up too much of the fans in the background, but the static you can hear when I'm talking is just my computer fans. I haven't figured out a way to completely deal with that. I'm not sure how wide this will be yet. I would like it to be as narrow as I can keep it. I'm also tempted to build a new V8 with the new smaller parts instead of these big ones, but we'll see with how the suspension goes. I don't think I'm going to make the suspension adjustable because, that drive shaft might be a bit of a pain. I can also probably use it as a pivot point. I now forget what I was just saying. Oh, I might not, or I likely won't make the suspension adjustable because of how much battery power it needs. I have there we go, a track version of the T2, and there's a version of said track version with fully adjustable everything, camber, caster, toe, everything on the front and back. To this truck, I think. One of these two. But either way, I can't even do a lap around the shorter route that goes up along the mountain and back. I can't even go around there without the batteries dying. So I need to figure out something before I can continue with fully adjustable suspension. Since it's not going to be adjustable, I'm just going to use these knuckle joints because they will be stronger for the, like, from this perspective, left and right or forward and back movement of the wheels. Oops, I wanted to duplicate that. And then another one on top. I might put an arm towards the front or the back, just to help with the forces again. I had to with the race truck. That should go there fine. And then if I do this, I can likely have plenty of space for... Ooh. That's gotta go one further that way. I thought the axle was going to be an issue, and it's not, thankfully. I feel like these videos, even though they're half an hour long, I feel like I don't get much done in them. Those of you that watch these, like my videos on this, somewhat regularly, what would you say? For being half an hour, do I get a decent amount done? Not much at all? That's the wrong piece. Wrong one again. What am I looking for? This. It just... I don't cut out my little, like, thinking or whatever times. I just kind of leave everything in as is, which doesn't help with there being a lack of content or anything. I think I'm going to go something like this for now. I put that there, and then run axle through there. I can then mount it like so. I don't really like how this looks, but it'll work. And then I can put the coil over and sway bar attached to here somewhere. Somehow. Actually, I just go like that, set that to rotate, and that to rotate. Take that one off. Change that to not rotate. Alright. That should also work, and it's not so big and bulky and ugly. It wouldn't be the strongest in real life, but it'll work for this. Now I need the coil and sway bar and stuff. Where do I want to make this sway bar cross over? This is one of the next important questions. Can it go through here? It cannot because of crank. if it weren't for that, excuse me, if it wasn't for this, I would just run it through here, but I can't. So I'm going to run it up behind, or technically in front of the engine. Therefore, the main coilover is going to go on this side. I want to use these strong ones, because this is... I'm going to try and make this light, but it's still probably going to be fairly heavy. And then I want it to go like there-ish. So what is a good way to do this? I don't like using the prefab suspension parts. Like, they work really well for certain builds, but not the way I liked. I could use the script mods so that I can put a piece on there. This. We need a loop like that that is flat on the end. But if I'm going to do that, I might as well use a half round and not do any weird stuff. I don't like having to use the build tool and and put things inside of each other. I like working within the normal limits of the game. But with that, I've been doing it differently. Alright, so suspension geometry wise, this looks fine with the bigger V8. I can bring slope beam up from the chassis. I should do pushrod suspension sometime on something. That'd be really cool. But I don't think I'll do it on this. I'll build a smaller engine and then figure something out. Either way. Grab that, put it there. See, that should be able to go there. It's kind of dumb. So in this case, I am going to do that. And it's clipping through the manifold a little bit, but that's okay. I would like to get the rear end done at least today. Got nothing built on the other side yet, so I will lock everything together and then undo these points here. That whole thing will come off. Duplicate it. And now I just have to flip everything around. And by everything, there's only really the spring to flip, so that's convenient. Like so. Should still rotate, yes. Stick that back on there. That goes on there. And there we go. Everything locked. Alright. So, back end is technically ready to go. I'm going to... Ooh, I should have left the gas tank and the battery on it so I could make sure it actually ran. That can come off. And now I can put rear wheels on. Do need to shorten the axle shaft a little bit. Go. And it does have brakes. Awesome. I will adjust the torque after. So I switch that. We'll now show the rotor and the caliper. And I'm going to rotate it one that way so that the caliper is on the back. And thankfully I don't have a bunch of overhang on the back, unlike my little MR that I made, or RR. This thing, I guess it's not too bad, but this thing is horrible understeer. I'll do a video on it at some point. It's just a simple flat 6, I think it was, with, it's basically the exact same setup as this, so just in a little slightly more compact setup. Alright, so there is that. Part of me feels like I should move the spring out another block, but I'm not too worried about it. I will now put on the sway bar. I'm so glad the developer brought out the torsion spring. Or put in a torsion spring, whatever. Because it makes sway bars quite a bit easier to build and like locate and stuff, and it also makes them work how it should, because a real sway bar uses the torsion, so as the bar twists it works like a spring. And it doesn't need to be a huge sway bar, but I would like to have a decent amount of space for these gears, so I am going to bring this up by one more. Plus not having to use the coilovers for the sway bars. A lot more compact. And they don't move up and mess up the geometry and stuff. I keep hitting the trackpad with my palm. It's so annoying. I could have it automatically disable in settings, but there are times where I'd rather use the trackpad. Alright, that should work. It's fine with it covering the front of the crankshaft because I'm not putting the fan there. And oh, I also used the wrong pieces because I'm still used to using coilovers. Actually, if I go like this, keep that length, but use these. There we go. That should work nicely. Turn the damping all the way down, and I'm gonna go with 2. This spring is also very stiff. Tuning the sway bars on the C1 or C2. There it is right there. Like the front is only set to 4, and it's stiffer than when it was when I had the old coilover style. So now I just need to mount it. which again, I want to keep as much space for that as possible, so I'm going to... just gonna do this for now, because it should work fine. I feel like changing it up after I can. Oops, I need to duplicate that really quick. The duplicate function is so handy. I wish Scrap could duplicate stuff like that. Oops. There we go. So, for the most part, the rear end is now done. The rear subframe and suspension. Like I said, I might still put a bar coming forwards with a tie rod type thing if the wheels try to toe in too much under acceleration. But that's about it for that. The fuel tank will likely go in the front, along with the battery. I'm gonna use the 1/2 kilowatt one for now. I'm not sure what a real life battery is like. I think they are kind of different depending on the battery itself. And then I should probably make the interior fairly small. So like 1 block between the seats kind of thing. But I really want to change this bit. I'm just not sure how I can at the moment. I should also change to this new centrifugal clutch that they added. So I will do that really quick. Add in the front. It's nice having this new centrifugal clutch. It not only does it make it a little simpler, but it's nice just having it all in one instead of having to have it like that or glitch welded into it or whatever. Not glitch welded, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Glitch welding is scrap mechanic. I could move this forwards by 1, which would allow me to move the rest back by 1, hopefully. But hopefully it also doesn't mess with anything in the gearbox. I'm also gonna have to unlock everything for now. Need to lengthen that, move that to there. That back on like so, make sure those can rotate. That doesn't need to rotate, that goes to there, which then spins the input shaft, which then goes to the output shaft, and to the differential in this stupid convoluted way. This now needs to go there somehow. Which means I will have to shorten this. And I'm just gonna go like this really quick to hold it in place. Yeah, there we go. That should work just fine. And I can add a little more narrow. So, here we go. Right, that should work. like I said in the last video, I could just use a belt to go down, but belts have a little bit of slip, and I really don't want any more slip than this centrifugal clutch will already have. Now I need the flooring, which is going to go about there. So let's go like this. Get out by 3. 1, 2, 3. That should be in line with the coilover on both sides. It is. That'll give me the basis, or like, not basis, but the main starting point for my floor. Excuse me. I got a message. Nothing important at the moment. Alright, I do gotta block this off. I don't really like how much distance there is between the seat and the rear wheel compared to how much will be between the seat and the front end. But this will be fine for now. This needs to be one wider, so. And then the seats will go like that. And then I'll just make the bodywork go around the wheels somehow, or something. And it's a track car, so it doesn't need a ton of ride height or suspension travel, but that does look a little low. Yeah, I don't want it that low. So instead, to go this. And that is much better. Almost out of time for today. See, that's what I mean though. I feel like when I'm not recording, I get a lot more done than when I am recording. Or I'm just not paying as much attention to the time when I'm recording, so it feels faster or something. Can use that to cover these gears. Yep, that'll work just fine. At least it should. Oops. Oops. Okay, those can move. Something. Oh. There we go, okay. And then that's. And I will make the bottom of it cover pretty much as I can and go around the gears and stuff, but for now it's not a huge deal. And I will likely change materials once I have the main design done, just to help with keeping it light and so on. But unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. This should be interesting. I'm hoping it turns out well. No idea how it's gonna handle. No idea how fast it's gonna be. It should be pretty fast with this gearing and this engine. Should be decent. And then you can always change the final drive. I'm going to be working on a new gearbox, hopefully a 6-speed, but I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. So, either way, as usual, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, anything you want me to check out, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And as always, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.